moving on next, we have a session which is the final session for the future warehouse stream, sustainable warehouse, that looks into going beyond green building, solar leasing and energy efficiency operation within the warehouse. So for this session, we have our speaker Wala Meher, who is the GM Group Supply Chain Operations Warehouse and Logistics for Rock Ceramics UAE. So just to share a little bit about Wala, he is the end-to-end supply network leader with an entrepreneurial mindset for top-line P&L growth, cost saving and healthy inventor cash flow while delivering high standards of operational excellence and performance. He has hands-on leadership experience within GCC, Middle East, CEE and Africa with leading FMCG world-class Fortune 500 companies such as Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark. Currently, he is the head of the end-to-end supply chain and EHS in the largest ceramic tiles company in the world, which is Rock Ceramic. Some of his experiences includes he is also the co-author for the ESCA Entrepreneurial Supply Chain Architect Guidebook for the supply chain challenges in the Middle East. And he's also the director for supply chain for GCC at Kimberly-Clark Bahrain from 2014 till 2017. And he is the GM for Rock Ceramics. So the floor is to you, Wala. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Thanks for
good.
the introduction. Okay,
Yes.
it's the second time today, so it's like if there's any prospect that someone searching for supply chain director or something, my CV have been set today 2 times today. Okay, so why we are here today? We are talking about the sustainable energy in our business. Okay, of course, there is a little bit of energy loss because I've been in the webinar from the morning, and as well not having you physically in front of me is somehow difficult. Okay, yeah, yet I hope that my message and my ideas are coming to you as much as it is possible. So just a little bit of introduction, okay, about why I'm so passionate about the whole discussion about sustainability. Like everyone on this call, we are living on one earth, okay? The 7 billion person that is living right now on earth need to sustain it so our kids can find it on the next period. This is like the border one, the border sustainability thinking. But other things that we need to talk about is using the sustainability to generate for us money. Using the sustainability to maintain our current job, using sustainability. When I'm talking sustainability, I'm talking about sustainability across all its perspectives, following the laws of the countries that we operate in from an ecosystem standpoint, how to sustain the environment that we are using every day, how we sustain our waste management, how we sustain our business. But because, again, I will not talk about the big border earth perspective, and I'll be talking focusedly on how we as supply chain people we need to focus on, and how service providers who's also watching this webinar will help us in, and how is us as a community of supply chain professional can push the market to help us. When we are talking about sustainable warehouses, future for us is not and should not be a mirror for our past. We should think of something that is more radical and different for our industries, especially in supply chain and logistics. After COVID, we were talking in the previous panel in the strategies, and I like one of the notes that Mr. Sandeep was the head of supply chain for Domino's Pizza was saying, that he told me, well, there is no definite strategy now for sure, because simply strategies are changing, tactics are changing. But the one thing that we all know, not only one, but the one thing that we agreed during the panel is technology is coming. Technology is there, it is available and coming. And we should be up to speed with it. While we are doing this technology, one of the small technologies, as you can see, I'm sitting here in a cockpit. Okay, I'm a geek. I love technology. I love technology. All what you see is wearables. This is smartwatch, smart bracelet, handsets. I have a couple of gigabytes in my wedding ring, which I had to change. All this needs power. And when we are talking about power, and we talk with our bosses, our CEOs, our stakeholders, our shareholders about sustainability, yeah. Just make a document about sustainability, publish it, and make a couple of events: renewable water, renewable energy, reduce your waste. But in reality, as an industry of renewables, we are not, we are still not there. The first thing when we talk about renewable, it will be, yep, solar energy. In solar energy, when you think about it, your boss will talk about solar panels, space for it, investment, how to install it, how to maintain it, how the size of it, the wind can do this, the sand can do that. Especially when we talk about energy in our region, we are the blessed region in the world that we have petrol. And petrol, while it is not a sustained energy, we always had it cheap, not like our colleagues in Europe, our fellow citizens in US, or in different places that does not have the same cheap petrol sources. Yet, we all recognize that petrol will finish. If it does not finish today, it will finish later on. And there is no more dinosaurs to make more petrol. So the only way to generate more power is to generate it from a renewable source, to generate it from wind or solar panels. Then in our region, the question will be always, why not every building in UAE have solar panels? Then we will find that the technology is not helping that much, because those solar panels, to generate this solar energy with this amount of sun, also we have tiny dust in the environment. This dust need continuous maintenance for the panels, continual washing, continual cleaning, which is another cost. How to connect with the solar grid, with the energy grid to maintain your power, because in a windy day maybe you will not have your solar energy. You will need to have a replacement power, or your electricity will be cut. What happened from early 2000, 2001, if you look into the wind power capacity across the globe, there was a study done by CNBC, okay, that in year 2000 till year 2019, we grew from 17,000 megawatts generated at that time globally, okay. Now it is 500 million megawatts generated globally. See, I'm here talking about thousands. I'm not using presentation, just capture the number as it is. 17,000, 500 million, just in the course of 18 to 19 years. So when we are talking about 2021, okay, maybe there will be slight change, but we are generating the future for our kids and our companies as well, because I am here to make the future for my company. My company is 30 years old. I wish to see it 100 years old. I will not be there, but other people will be there. I was blessed to work in Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark. Procter & Gamble is 190 years old. Someone 100 years back made a change that enabled them to hire me after that by 90 years, and I stayed there for 11 years. And I gave the torch to someone else to make it sustain for more and more. I wish one day, I don't know, I will never see it, but I wish someone would say, yeah, P&G is 250 years old. Okay, for sure there will be this, and someone is giving the torch to everyone. So we in our company should be doing the same. This talking about the wind one. While when you talk about the solar power in year 2000, year 2002, okay, it was less than 10,000 megawatts generated by solar powers because of the cost of the panels, the technology at that time. Now it is again another 500 million of solar power generated globally and installed panels. But while we advanced a lot in generating better windshields, better solar panels, the one technology that we are still all lacking is the batteries. Yes, there is Tesla batteries, there is the lithium batteries. They are trying to increase the capacity as much as they can. But one of the things that's stopping me and you to make more advancement in using the renewable energy and solar system in our factories and our facilities is the amount of batteries that we need to keep and where we can put all this electricity all around. With the studies saying that 50% extra will grow in the next 4 years only, which is just, we're talking 4 years. Congratulations, 2020 is finishing after 90 days. Uh, in those 4 years, if 50% increase will happen, the technologies and our cope as warehouse people and supply chain people to cope with this technology, okay, coming in, need to be fast. So the producers of the forklifts need to see how to utilize it more. And when we are talking about forklifts and utilizing it more, it means not only how to utilize the forklift to work with the solar energy, but how to utilize high efficient forklifts that can carry loads and loads and tons, not only a simple handling forklift, okay, to use the electricity and serve me in my warehouse. I have pallets that is 2 tons, 2.5 tons. I'll be happy to have multiple suppliers, not sole supplier, multiple suppliers showing me different forklifts that use electricity. Okay, so I can serve and sustain the environment and the ecosystem by not giving the exhaust out of my forklifts. I have a fleet of 200 forklifts. If I get this service provided by forklift, then I am serving my ecosystem. So they investing in batteries and they investing in how the forklift will be collecting the energy by solar panel and self-charging while working, like the calculator that we have all in our offices that have like small Casio solar panel on it. Okay, if every forklift is having this option on it and it is a heavy duty forklift, then I am reducing the time and for the forklifts to sit on the charging panel and get charged, which again will reduce my operating cost, will improve my efficiency, will improve my sustainability solutions. Just by one company investing in one technology in a small item, it is affecting the whole ecosystem around it for us in supply chain. Invest in the batteries, invest on the portable solar panel, in how to install it, how to make it generic as possible to be on the Komatsu, on the Toyotas, on. And okay, of course, I'm not quoting those types, but again, you are putting it on different types of forklifts. Okay, when you are doing this, there will be another provider helping in putting a more portable air condition for the poor forklift driver who's in a stockyard or in an open space and he need to operate in this temperature. When I will have a covered forklift with panel that is generating its own energy and can carry the product, and the individual inside it will have a better atmosphere, then maybe we will be able to change the regulation that says that in high temperature of August, we need to give them break from this hour to this hour during the summertime. Then maybe you will not need it. Things, small items that every developer behind the scene is doing can give us efficiency in our area. Okay, this is point number one. Just then there is the point of leveraging the opportunities of the fixed asset that we have, okay, to improve our sustainability and ecosystem. If you look at it, none of us does not have a warehouse ceiling. Okay, I have a stockyard, but again, it's a space. The ceiling is the air, but for me, I can manage it. I'm managing a facility 1 million square meter, 1 million square meter of space. Okay, I can generate power that is enough to give electricity to all my facility that I have an experience. I built a whole 88,000 square meter of green warehouse, solar panels, solar energy, everything there is green. We do not use anything there that is not eco-friendly. The plastic that we are using for our pallets, degenerated automatically. Our pallets is eco-friendly. Once you develop this, while it is an investment in the beginning, okay, you will find that for this specific area, I don't have much of electricity bill. Simple like this. While I am investing in it, I enabled my supplier to find new ideas that serve my specific industry that he later went to the people in the same industry like mine and told them, guys, I'm using this for rack ceramics. Why we don't use it? Okay. Using as well um, the ceiling for your buildings, your old buildings, your available buildings, like the factory. And instead, go to your production managers, go to your chief operating officers. Instead of the ceiling maintenance that we are doing on yearly or quarterly basis because I'm in a rainy area, okay, maybe we just cover it with panels the next time. Then you can generate electricity in your factory. Then you can have more and more tools using this electricity, using this renewable energy for your facility. As much as you will be thinking outside the box and your target is how I will convert this to renewable energy, you will get ideas. Then point number 3, which is uh, using the bless that we have here in the region, the lights, okay, using smart glass, using the new technologies of controlling the exact amount of light that you want to use it as a false ceiling in your warehouse. Okay, I believe 15 years back or more, 20, no, it's more or less 20 years back. Okay, a brilliant warehouse team. I was blessed by working with them at that time, and I was in the planning. I was not in the warehouse. They converted a whole warehouse in Egypt with what we call in Arabic false ceiling, okay, which is a total glass operated ceiling that made the invoice for electricity for this specific warehouse 50%. Okay, when it succeeded, we implemented it across the whole company. This idea, which is not new, not the ooh la la, but if you think about it, it was more or less the idea that our grandparents have been using it for years and years, and the grandparents were using it as well. Go to any pharaonic temple, go to any Greek temple, go to any Roman temple, you will find that they were using the sun and they were using those false ceiling. Go to the museums, in many old museums, it was built like this, old palaces. So actually the idea was there, and instead of calling it smart glass, they were smart enough to make different paints in different seasons. So the amount of sun that is coming inside is controlled. If you look at it, right now we have the technology, but we are not utilizing it because we are always putting the dollar M sign before making the decision. And while this is important, it is critical, but it is not how we should make decisions for the business in the next period. Because the business which will only focus on cost, only cost, will not have business after a while. If we will all the time will be cutting corners and moving through, yes, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that, just to cut the cost, you will fail in the service at a certain point. You will fail in your people at a certain point. You will fail in following the government instruction at a certain point. Remember that some of the industry practices that was done in the previous periods, I'm talking about 5 years back, 10 years back, now is obsolete, and some of them are prohibited by the law, which is like the shrink wrap that you are putting on the ballot. If it is now, if it is not with specific chemicals, it will not be allowed in most of the countries. Your ballots, if it is not produced in a certain way, it will not be approved in many countries. It is exactly like the normal legal business practices. At a certain point of the people life, okay, uh, uh, child labor was allowed. It was part of the practice. Then people evolved, they stopped it. Have it affect the companies? Yes, he was paying the kids pennies. Now he need to have trained labor to do the job. Have it affect the society? Yes, those kids, instead of generating money for their families, they became a burden on their families because now they need to go to school and did it generate benefit? The effect, the the cost analysis will tell you no, it raised the cost. But when you look into it as legal, nature, humanity, for sure it improved the life. For sure. So this was a decision that is not cost driven. It was humanity driven. It should be done like this. When we are talking about sustainability, it should be humanity driven. It should be a leap of faith that every stock owner, even if you own one stock in the company, should be focusing on. That's all, and I'll be happy to take more questions. So, hi.
Yes, Wala.
Yes, so
Okay.
hopefully I have some questions. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So Wala, we do have a couple of questions. The first will be, what would be the important or essential element of a sustainable warehouse inside and outside the four walls?
Okay. So let's identify first the four walls. Okay. Your four walls of the warehouse. Okay. And what is inside it? Number one is your structure of the warehouse, which the warehouse is a human being, a forklift, and a product that you move. So when you are talking about those ones, the human being, we cannot talk. It's not by my hand to make him an eco person. Okay. But the forklifts, I talked about it thoroughly, which is it need to have a renewable source of energy. It need to, the technology that I see right now is not an oh la la technology. It's not advanced enough as much as we wish. So this need to change. Then when it comes to how we move our products, I was pleased to read about the latest news. There is a company that had a brilliant idea of containers that actually uh, can be collapsed again. Okay, and when you are shipping it back, instead of uh, driving to the factory, one trailer with an empty container with a empty container inside it, so you can put your product in. Those containers can collapse, and you can put on the one trailer 5 containers, 6 containers, 10 containers. So if you look at it from a sustainability standpoint, the trip right now, they reduced 5 trips, 5 gas consumptions, 5 fuel emissions in the road. They have reduced your traffic that you are stuck in it while moving from one place to one place to 20%. The latest news, I've been pleased. I've been following this company for years and years now. The latest news that they have made a full collaboration with Procter and Gamble, and I hope the rest of the companies follow this, because once this became the norm, okay, you will not see when you are moving around a dry port, you will not see dozens and dozens of empty containers waiting to be picked. It will be just stack of carts above each other. So this is number one in the transportation. When we will have more and more companies like chip company, which is taking one pallet from here, serving it to another company, then distributing it, which is the shared pallet institution. Okay, or I don't know what chip stand for, but for me, this is the shared ballot institution. They take from me the ballots. I deliver to Carrefour. They have a deal with Carrefour. They pick it from Carrefour. So we are chopping less trees. When we work on agreement between me as supplier and my customer that plastic bags that I'm using, it need to be self-degenerated or whatever, we are serving the environment for this part. Then less and less dumping of the material, and I will consume less transportation to transfer this to a dumpster. They will reduce the energy used to convert this bad material to environment friendly material, and etc. We need to manage it as a supply network. Then outside my boundaries is all what I was talking about my effect to outside. Tomorrow in my session, you will there is a part that I'm talking specifically about the cost of dumping the product and following the regulation of each single country in Middle East and in the world, just for I want to dump this to something else. All of us follow the things on Facebook and Instagram, whatever the platform you are in. You'll find very, very, very unique people that are not privileged like us, that they actually squash this can of Pepsi that I just threw, okay, and they make another thing of it. Some of them fill it with product and they just use it to build houses for the homeless people. Some people crash it and melt it and use it to make another product of to cook in. If those people with no education, with no, can do it, why our service providers can't? Why they are not advising me? Okay, I'm brilliant, I'm smart in my job, only in my job. I cannot do more than this. You are the industry, brilliant in your industry. Show me, and I'll be happy to embrace it. Okay, what else? Shoot. I hope that
Okay.
I'm not boring for the people.
No, 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 definitely are not. That was very insightful indeed. And okay, we do have one question. The last question will be, in your opinion, what would be the future of sustainability in supply chain?
Okay, so number one, we need to go to paperless work. Totally. Right now, many companies will say we went paperless. In reality, we are not. Supply chain is one of the things that unfortunately you can operate inside your factory with a paperless trail. But the point that you will say, I will export, you need, in many countries, you need a printed bill of lading. You need printed invoice. You need printed, stamped, and authorized from the embassy of the country that went, if you see how many, we have done this calculation in my current company. We found that our printed invoice is being touched by 24 different individual before the customer hand. Before it reach the customer hand, it need to be asserted, signed, and by 24 different individuals. The easiest of them to your mind is when I am giving the product to the driver inside the container, I need to give him a set of documents. This is one hand. Then when he reach, is just a driver. He will give it to the freight forwarder, another hand. Then the freight forwarder will go to this guy, to this guy, to this, whatever countries will tell you. Maybe UAE is one of the few countries in the world that have automated lots of their processes. But when you are shipping outside UAE, just passing the border, the next country didn't automate. Okay, then whatever UAE is trying to solve inside UAE is not reflecting outside. So we need to find a way, like DHL have made the DHL process and parcels, and we need to change. And this is my my opening statement that I said we shouldn't improve. Okay, we should always improve what we have in hand, but we need to have brains generating something new. I should click here, all this trail of documents become authorized across the world. Done. I don't know in the world of COVID-19, for sure people are working on this, but this need to be fast. This is, in my word, from logistics and transportation standpoint. And the solution is not like cryptocurrencies and no, no, no. This is not the only solution. Number one is the documentation between the different countries, the different bodies. Okay. I can tell you, I have customers till now, if he does not see the manual, the printed brochure of the company, he will not look. Man, I can send you a PDF. No, no, printed. Yes, okay. My product manual, I ship out 165,000 SKUs. If I have to print it, color printing per customer, the catalog itself will weigh 10 kgs. Can you imagine the amount of waste? So we as well, as supply chain people, are not being helped by the customer requirement. Then the second thing is how to think, I would say, not globally, but more on a regional perspective on centralizing and decentralizing of many of the services. Okay. We were talking in previous session today in Cloud Kitchen. Okay. Cloud Kitchen is having a centralized kitchen for multiple facilities for the people who's not aware of this. This is a new technology, new idea, smart idea. To have a centralized kitchen that serve 5 different restaurants. Because all the restaurants will buy tomato, all the restaurants will buy oil, all the restaurants. And they are inviting your own chef to come in, cook, or even their own chef to cook. Come, cook, use our facility. We will be your centralized place and we ship out. This is part of the sustainability because less building of restaurants. For kitchens in the restaurants, you can utilize the space more. Okay, you rent 200 square meter, you will utilize it all for tables, especially with the social distancing right now. Okay, and you will just make a station for the final cooking. By this, you are reducing the waste in the kitchen as well, because there is no one tomato will be left because the restaurant have closed, because the guy have another 4 customers that can utilize the same tomato. Okay, these small things. Our job in the next period is to make such an innovative idea like Cloud Kitchen. Okay, exactly like 15 years back, there was no smartphone. Now there is smartphone. This was an innovation. We need the new innovation. Right now, I don't know what should be I know my wishes, but I do not know what is in the market for new innovation that fully sustain the supply chain. Okay? Any more questions?
I think that's all the questions that we have. And so we have come towards the end of the conference and your session as well. So once again, thank you very much, Wala. Thank you for your time. And I look forward to see you tomorrow then.
Hopefully. So thanks a lot for everyone. Thanks for listening. I hope that I was not boring. I'm just talking my mind. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Wala. Have a great evening.